Are you a Squid Game fan? Well, if you are, this video is for you. This Korean TV show has definitely taken the world by storm since its release. But like every other good TV show, there's more to see than what meets the eye. Don't know what we're talking about? Then keep watching this video until the end to know about hidden secrets that fans never spotted in the show. Why didn't anyone pay attention to the drawings on the walls? If the players would have just looked at the walls around them, then they would have won every round of the game. Wait until you find out why we just said that. This one thing that fans might have missed right from episode 1 till the end of the season were the walls of the bedrooms. You see, the walls of the room where they're all living had drawings on them, and those drawings clearly depicted what the next game was going to be like. The drawings of the games were represented with stick figure cartoons, and it wasn't that those drawings gave only hints of each of the 6 games, but they showed each and every single thing in detail. If you'll now look closely, then you'll be able to see the very prominent drawings of Tug of War, the Honeycomb Challenge, and the Red Light Green Light game. A reason why so many fans and the players could have missed this is because of the beds of all the 456 players were located in front of them, so the drawings weren't that visible. But as the game progressed and so many people got killed, the walls of the dormitory got clearer, and with that, the drawings too. So a pro tip, always look closely at the walls around you, and maybe you could save something of yours. You could have known the greatest plot twist of the show right from the beginning of the season. Wait, what? The greatest shock that came to fans was when they found out that Il-nam was really the mastermind behind these games and the one who's running them. He was player number 1, and we all know that. But did you ever wonder why there weren't any other elderly players in the game? There are so many more hidden details that could have told us about the plot twist, but in some ways, we're glad they remained hidden. First of all, Il-nam's name, translated in English, means the number 1 man. And when Dun Ho was going through all the names of the players in the 2020 game, you'll see how that list only starts with player 2 and not with player 1. And player 1 was Il-nam, so right there in that scene, we were pointed in the direction that Il-nam knew everything about the game. Another thing that many missed was how Il-nam knew so many details regarding each game. During Red Light, Green Light, we see that the robot never scans Il-nam as a player, and the whole structure of the marble game was an exact mimicry of the neighborhood that Il-nam grew up in. Also, who really enjoys doing something when so many deaths are occurring front, back, left, right, and center? Only Il-nam. All these things went unnoticed by so many of us, but really, the show was giving us hints right from the beginning. But you really missed this one. Squid Game was showing all of us what was going to happen later on. Ji-hun's story was a really sad one, and of all the things that were going on in his life was his ex-wife taking sole custody of their daughter and moving to the United States. Remember the gift that Ji-hun chose to give to his daughter, Ga-young? The box looks exactly like the coffins in which the players got put in after they were eliminated. And more so, the gift inside the box was a realistic looking gun, showing the violence that the viewers would get to see later on in the show. So basically, we all would have gotten saved from a lot of nightmares if we just paid attention a little more. Did you know that the way the players will die was already shown at the beginning of the show? Probably the biggest secrets that Squid Game tried to hide from us. In episode 5, we see Min-yao saying how powerful she felt by leaning back during the tug of war in which her team eventually wins, but that's also the way she dies later on in the show. In episode 7, during the bridge game, Min-yao holds tightly Deok-soo to lean back in order to have more power over Deok-soo, and with that, both the players meet their deaths. So the way she was saying how powerful she felt when leaning back is also the same way she died 2 episodes later. With Min-yao, Deok-soo died too, but in the entire show, that isn't the only time that so many people saw him falling. Back in episode 2, when all the players go back to their real world, Deok-soo tries to escape from some people who are trying to kill him off by falling off a bridge and jumping into the water, and remember how he died? By falling off during the bridge game. If you think these secrets are crazy, then wait until the end of the video to find out more. Was Se-byuk's death the most heartbreaking one in the season? The answer to that question would be 1,000 times yes. Se-byuk meets a very ruthless death when she gets stabbed by Sang-woo right on the neck. But did you know how the spot where she got stabbed is the same spot at which she held the knife to a man's neck in episode 2? In episode 2, we see Se-byuk trying to make her parents flee from North Korea while also holding a knife to a man's neck. And that spot on the neck is exactly the one where she got stabbed later in episode 8. Pretty crazy, right? Not exactly, but in a very similar way. Ollie's death story was related to his past just like that. When all the players get back to the real world, Ollie returns to his job but ends up stealing all the money that he's owed. So in a way, he stole something valuable from someone, and then later, Sang-woo betrays Ollie by stealing his winning marbles in the marble game, and in this way, something valuable from Ollie got stolen as well. And with that, he then died. Sang-woo also told us way back how he'll end up dying. Is everything just a coincidence in Squid Game? Episode 2 was really the one that hinted to us how many of the players would end up dying in the end. In that episode, when everyone returns to their home, we see Sang-woo trying to attempt suicide by laying down on the tub all wet, and that's also how he ends up dying in the end, by killing himself. At the end of the show, Ji-hong and Sang-woo were the only ones left. Ji-hong was about to exit the game when Sang-woo kills himself, and the way he kills himself is by stabbing a knife right on the same spot on his neck where he stabbed Se-byuk. So basically, Sang-woo was suicidal right from the very beginning. Talking about Ji-hong, did this happen on purpose or was this a coincidence? We all know who the last player was, Ji-hong aka player 456, who also ends up winning in the end, but do you know that the number 456 has been associated with him all throughout the show? First of all, Ji-hong wins the horse race track by getting 4.5 million. Now in a million, there are 6 zeros, so 456 then being his number in the game. Very interesting, right? The reason why all the players got to wear green tracksuits and all the guards pink. Ever wonder why these were the only colors chosen for the tracksuits? The hidden secret behind this is very shocking. Well, for the players, green tracksuits were chosen so that they could make the red blood prominent. And why did the guards end up wearing pink jumpsuits? Well, that's because pink is completely opposite to green on the color chart, hence indicating that the guards are superior to the players and the two are completely different from each other, supporting different things. It's crazy how much attention to detail the whole crew of Squid Game put into the show. Most of the things on the show were all real with very few visual effects. Come again? Yeah, you heard that right. If you follow Squid Game religiously, then you know that the production for this show started way back in 2019 and took a whole 2 years to complete. Now, why did it take that long? It's simply because the director wanted things to be as realistic as possible so that the actors can fully go in with the scenes. The whole show is very, very aesthetically pleasing to look at, and there's no doubt in that, but most of all, it's because of the real life sets and not visual effects. Remember the red light, green light episode and the robotic girl that gave so many of us nightmares later on? The truth is that the robotic girl was actually built in real life to make sure that the scene gets shot right on the spot. And the colorful staircase? Yes, that's all real too. And hey, we don't blame you for never finding these secrets out on your own at all. Let us know in the comments down below how shocked you are right now on a scale of 1 to 10. And before you go, like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. We'll catch you on the next one.